So today on Scares and Sparks, I'm going to show you the world's first, drum roll please, pop-up spring-loaded prop that doesn't suck. Blew her head off. This is part 3 of the video. We're going to be focusing today on the electronics, so the wiring, the servo mechanisms, and most importantly, how to get the servos to actually behave and move the mechanism how you want them to. Okay, so the electronics looks a right mess laid out like this, but hopefully you'll be able to follow through. We've got the 2 servo wires just here. And we've got our limit switch, which I've hardwired to my little prop controller here. So I'll go over this by showing you what's needed. You've basically got power coming in here, and this goes to this little voltage regulator, powers this Arduino and also this audio player. We have a speaker here which is connected to the output, the audio. 2 servos are going to connect into these connectors here. We've also got a MOSFET connected that will drive 12-volt lights, and then finally we have our little sensor, which can be a PIR, or in this case it's actually a radar style sensor, which I put in this little 3D printed cross box as well, and that's actually all you need. Now I've got one of my little 3D printed troughs, really, call it a box trough. I'm going to mount that somewhere on this board here. I'm going to put this inside and hopefully make the thing look a bit neater, and then we'll be in a position to calibrate the positions of servos in relation to the program and go through the basics of the program. Got all the things in position, hopefully tidied the cables up a little bit more so you can see what's going on. Board's in its little box. You've got the switch coming in here over to here. We've got the light, which at the moment is just a standard kind of LED Christmas decoration light, just to give us some light. The 2 servos are plugged into their sockets here, making sure you've got the black wire and the ground pin. Very important, don't get them the wrong way around. We've got the speaker over here. We've got the little sensor, wake up sensor here, and I'm going to be powering it from basically this 12-volt lithium battery pack, which used to be used for a drone I had, and that's just going to go in here. We'll power on the Arduino. You'll see its lights come on, and then it will actually automatically start moving because I've already pre-programmed this thing. Now it's not going to have the correct positions because they were from my previous prop, because this is the second one of these I've built. So that's where we need to then go into the program and adjust settings so that we can actually get it to move. But, you know, just for fun, let's just turn it on. Hopefully you can see a little bit more accurately what's going on with the mechanism. Okay, so I've hooked it up to the debugger just to give you an idea of numbers. And you can see it's moving the arm backwards and forwards, but it doesn't move it anywhere near far enough to actually make the thing turn. And this is obviously means the servo is in the wrong, effectively longer orientation. It thinks now it's done 50 cycles, so it moves out the way. As you see, it fires the servo around the back to release the lever, and in doing so, also makes an extremely loud noise. It will just repeat around again because it sees the switch is open. If I push this down, it thinks the switch is now closed. It thinks this is down at the bottom section, and then it fires it. Now, of course, because it's in the wrong place, it's not winding the string down. What we have to do is get the right numbers into the program to make that happen. So what we're going to look at is how to put the right numbers in the servo drive to make it work. And honestly, this is the hardest bit of all of it, so try and bear with me. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to program the little Arduino with a test program. I've taken it out of its socket, plugged it in, and then I'm going to come over to the computer where it's found it on COM3, and I will then upload this to the Arduino. Now the program's quite simple. It just brings up a serial port and lets me type in the value basically for the angle that we want the servo to be. It says it's done uploading, so I can basically disconnect it from here, put it back into its socket, making sure all the pins are in the right places. Should just slot straight in. If it doesn't, we've usually just got something a bit screwy. There we go. Then I'm just going to put the power on it via the USB port, and then actual power to drive the servo, because even though the USB port could drive the servo, it won't do a very good job of it, to be honest. These servos are a bit more beefy than that. So back over on the PC, if I go into the COM3 serial monitor, you can see it says command is in line, ready to perform. Now, if we look at the actual servo mechanism, you can see that at the moment the thing is just about resting on the tip of one of the teeth. So to make it move the cog, we've got to make the servo move that direction. So we need a larger number. So I'm going to try, first one, 80 degrees, see what it does. Oh, that moved it backwards. So we must need a larger number. So let's go for 100. There we go. Now that's still not far enough to push the thing forward. We'll try 120. 120 is starting to push it. We're waiting for it to push all the way over so it makes a clicking sound. 130, 140. Unfortunately, the program did that click. I think it did. And you can see that the arm is up high. So now I need to pull it all the way back so it's disconnected. So we started at 80 and that was too fast. We'll try 70. That disconnects, but way too far. We don't need it flying out of the way like that. So we'll try 90. 90 looks like it is disconnected. So now if I move between 140 and 90 over and over, it should move the ratchet. And obviously doing it by hand like this is very slow. But you can see, hopefully, he's turning the ratchet. So the next thing to do is to finalize position of the arm for the release servo. So you can see here, this current position, it's locked in place and is not allowing the ratchet to turn. I'm going to try a few different values. You can't see them, they're all off screen. But I'm basically looking to move the servo far enough such that the thing can run free. So it's not quite running free there. Another little tweak on the distance. And now you can see the thing is running freely and is not touching the black plastic. So that gives us our release position. And then what we need to do then is find out the position where we want to move the arm to for a full release. So it's not touching the plastic arm anymore. And there you go. I picked a value there and you can see there's actually a clear gap in between the two. Now we've got those two values. We can just check that in that position with a gap in there, the arm is being held. Now we can use those values and put them into our actual program. In the next video of this series, we're going to talk about the software that goes into the Arduino to make the thing tick. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and go to the next video in the series to find out more about how this unique prop mechanism works.